Good morning, gentlemen. My name is Ibrahim Suleiman. I'm 18 years old. I'll be talking about the muscular system. This is a learning objective. Number two, so I will be covering the structure and the functions of the muscular system. The criteria is P3, P4, M1 and D1. The muscular system. The muscular system is a complex collection of tissues, each with a different purpose. Understanding the components of the muscular system, including the various types of connective tissues, is a good way to understand how bodies and physical movement work. The muscular system. In the muscular system, muscle tissue is categorized into three distinct types: skeletal, cardiac, and smooth. Each type of the muscle tissue in the human body is a unique structure and a specific role. Skeletal muscle moves bones and other structures. Cardiac muscle contracts the heart to pump the blood. Body movement. Maintenance of posture, respiration, diaphragm and intercostal contractions. Communications, verbal and facial, constrictions of organs and vessels, heartbeat and the production of body heat. So that was the muscular system functions, so the functions of the muscular. So the major muscles in the human body, the major skeletal muscle groups forming the upper body are the abdominals, the pectorals, the deltoid, trapezius, latissimus dorsi, erectus spine, so the biceps, the triceps. The major skeletal muscle groups of the lower body are the quadriceps, the hamstrings, the gastrocnemius, the soleus, and gluteus. Muscle move by contracting. So types of muscle tissue. These three types are found in vertebrates: skeletal, striated, voluntary control; smooth, involuntary control; cardiac, involuntary control. Types of muscle. Skeletal, they are attached to the bones, makes up 40% of the body weight, responsible for locomotion, facial expressions, posture, and respiratory movements. Other types of body movement, voluntary in action, controlled by somatic motor neurons. Smooth. In the walls of hollow organs, blood vessels, eye, glands, uterus, skin. Some functions: proper urine, mixed food in digestive tract, dilating, contracting pupils, regulating blood flow. In some locations, autorhythmic, controlled involuntary by endorrheic and automatic nervous systems. Cardiac, heart major source of movement of blood. Autorhythmic, controlled involuntary by the endocrine and automatic nervous systems. Smooth muscle have contractile fibers but lack orderly striations of skeletal muscle. Where would you expect smooth muscle involuntary control to be found? So that's the question. Its contractions involuntary. It is found in the walls of hollow organs, digestive tract, blood vessels, urinary, bladder, and other areas. Smooth muscle is controlled by the autonomic nervous system, hormones, and the intrinsic factors in the organ. Cardiac muscle, influenced by nerves and hormones, but has electrical system of its own to initiate the coordinate contractions. Where would you expect cardiac muscle to be found? Cardiac muscle tissue is only found in the heart. Highly coordinated contractions of the cardiac muscle pump blood into the vessels of the circulatory system. Skeletal muscle. Orderly striations are due to arrangement of contractile fibers, produces locomotion. Where would you expect skeletal voluntary control muscle to be found? Skeletal muscle striated in structure and under voluntary control is ensured by tendons or by opponeurosis by a few places to be bone and is used to affect skeletal movement such as locomotion and to maintain posture. So as you can see over there. Example, skeletal muscle tissue is found in our skeletal muscles. For example, the biceps. Cardiac muscle is found in our heart, and smooth muscle is found in our visceral or hollow organs. For example, blood vessels, intestines. Furthermore, all muscles contract in response to intercalary calcium. Functions of the muscular system and the different fiber types. Functions and different fiber types in muscular system. Antagonist pairs, antagonist and agonist muscles often occur in pairs called antagonistic pairs, as one muscle contracts, the other relaxes. An example of an antagonistic pair is a biceps and tricep. To contract, the triceps relaxes, so it relaxes, while the bicep contracts, lift the arms. So a sporting example of this is bicep curl in the gym. As I said before, the tricep relaxes and the biceps contracts. So you see this picture, he's holding the weight, so he's doing a bicep curl. So as soon as he goes up, the bicep contracts, the tricep relaxes. Synergist muscles perform or helps perform the same set or joint motion as the agonist. Synergist muscle act on movable joints. Synergists are sometimes called neutralizers because they help cancel out or neutralize extra motion from the agonist to make sure that the force generated works within the desired plane of motion. In the bicep curl, the synergist muscles are the branchiolaris and branchialis, which assist the bicep to create the movement and stabilize the elbow joint. Fixature. These muscles provide the support, assist in holding the rest of the body place while the movement occurs. They are also called stabilizers. When you do a bicep curl, the bicep flexes the elbow. The bicep connects to the bone in two places, and the fixature allows one area to move during the curl. As the bicep contracts, the radius and scapula come together. The fixature muscle prevents the scapula from moving in order to achieve full movement to the radius of the radial area. Most fixature muscles surrounding the hip and the shoulder bones. Types of contraction. Isometric. Isometric contracts occur when there is no change in the length of the contracting muscle. An example is when you grip a tennis racket. So when you grip a tennis racket, there is no movement in the joint of the hand, but the muscles are contracting to provide a force sufficient enough to keep a steady hold on the racket. Concentric contractions are those which cause the muscle to shorten as it contracts. An example is bending the elbow from straight to fully flexed muscle. Concentric contractions are the most common type of muscle contraction and occur frequently in daily and sporting activities. Eccentric. When the muscle length is under tension, each of the muscles move further away during an action. For example, when kicking a football, the quadriceps muscles, though they are here, contracts contractily to straighten the knee, the lower limb. This type of contraction puts strain on the muscles and can lead to injury. Fiber type 1. Type 1 fibers are also known as slow twitch fibers. They are red in color due to this fact. They are very resistant to fatigue and are capable of producing repeated low-level contractions. Athletes, such as marathon runners, have a high number of this type of fiber, partly through genetics, partly through training. Fibers type 2A. Fibers type 2A are also sometimes known as a fast oxidative fibers and are a hybrid of type 1 and type 2. Type 2A produce fast, strong and muscle contractions, although they are more prone to fatigue than type 1 fibers. Resistance training can turn type 2B fibers into type 2A. Fiber type 2B. They are white in color, they are short, fast, burst of power and rapid fatigue. This type of fiber can be turned into type 2A fibers by resistance training. This is a positive change due to the increased fatigue resistance of type 2 fibers. These fibers are found in large quantities in the muscle of the arms. So, example of advanced and disadvanced. Slow twitch type 1A. So the advanced part is it is very resistant to fatigue, capable of producing repeated low-level contraction of producing large amounts of ATP through an aerobic metabolic cycle. And there's no disadvantage. So fast twitch type 2A advantages are manufacture and split ATP at a fast rate by utilizing both aerobic and anaerobic metabolism, and so produce fast, strong muscle contractions. So the disadvantages are more prone to fatigue than type 1 fiber. So fast twitch type 2B advantages: produces ATP at a slow rate by anaerobic metabolism, but breaks it down very quickly. This results in short, fast bursts of power. Disadvantages is rapid fatigue. This is the end of my presentation, and thank you for listening.